Hearing Keqing's sudden exclamation, Cloud Retainer let out a disapproving hum. Such loud, improper behavior, how unbecoming. Keqing paid no mind to Cloud Retainer's words. After all, the Adepti's dislike of her was nothing new. In comparison, both Keqing and the others, including Zhongli, were far more concerned about the mod that Ryen had just mentioned. They had only just learned yesterday about the overwhelming power of mods through Ryen's explanations. Industries capable of mass production, the mushroom bomb capable of untold destruction. Every single mod seemed to defy the laws of nature. Even the weapon in Ryen's hands was a product of a mod, the Yanma blade, infused with the power of space. Keqing and the others had always envied it. The power of the Yanma blade spoke for itself. Up until now, Zhongli and the rest had assumed that mods, such irrational, law-defying creations, were something they would only encounter later, after deeper exploration. Yet here they were, not even fully settled after breakfast, and Ryen was already talking about activating a mod. Keqing couldn't help but feel stunned. So much so that she even ignored the earlier mention of communications and teleportation. Ryen, what kind of mod is it? What does it do? Ningguang, having collected herself, fixed her gaze on Ryen, her tones serious. Well, Ryen scratched his cheek and spread his hands in a helpless gesture. It's hard to explain verbally. You'll see for yourself soon enough. All I can say is that this mod has no combat capabilities, but in terms of functionality, it's top tier among all mods. Especially in the early stages of our exploration, this mod can easily save us 10 times the amount of time we'd otherwise need. Upon hearing this, everyone exchanged astonished glances, but refrained from pressing Ryen further. Although their curiosity was practically clawing at their hearts, they were already inside this world. They'd find out soon enough. Is this your world, Ryen? At this moment, Cloud Retainer spoke again, her tone filled with awe. This marvelous, truly marvelous. This immortal doesn't even know how to describe such a world. Her avian eyes scanned the surroundings in sheer wonder. Compared to the reactions of Keqing and Ganyu during their first visit, Cloud Retainer appeared even more shaken. She examined everything, the sky, the earth, the lakes, and even the soil, with boundless curiosity. Watching her, Ryen couldn't help but see a resemblance to those early Redstone pioneers, captivated by discovery. As for the experiment to test whether Cloud Retainer could fly in this world, well, that was no longer necessary. After all, just moments ago, everyone had watched her flap her wings and soar into the sky like an ordinary crane. Though she lacked some of her usual ethereal grace, it was clear that her ability to fly had merely been stripped of any support from adeptal energy and elemental power. Regardless, the fact that she could fly at all was a significant advantage. Ryen silently activated the system to synchronize their physiques. For Ningguang and the others, who had already experienced this yesterday, the sensation was familiar. They simply clenched their fists, marveling once again at the strength coursing through their bodies. However, Cloud Retainer was visibly startled. She immediately descended from the sky in a rush, mindful of Zhongli's earlier advice not to fall from great heights. Lord, Ryen, Mr. Zhongli, great sage, did you feel it? Did your strength suddenly surge? Ryen cast a subtle glance at Zhongli, noting the slight awkwardness in his expression. It didn't take long for Ryen to realize that Zhongli hadn't explained this detail to Cloud Retainer beforehand. Cloud Retainer, there's no need to be alarmed. Unable to watch her adoptive mother overreact so seriously, Ganyu spoke up in her gentle voice. Ryen synchronized a portion of his physique with us. Without it, we wouldn't even be able to hold tools or handle materials in this world. Cloud Retainer froze for a moment, giving Ryen an odd look. Just a portion of your physique. Is this much of a difference? This immortal even feels capable of lifting her entire dwelling. Haha. Ryen laughed it off and said casually, well, one has to have some means of self-preservation, right? Cloud Retainer nodded in agreement. Indeed. While we Adepti will do our utmost to protect you, it is always better for you to have your own strength. After all, human hearts can be unpredictable. She didn't linger on the topic of Ryen's strength. After all, With him bearing the essence of an entire world, it was only natural for him to have unique abilities. Suddenly, Cloud Retainer chuckled and said, "Now, this immortal understands why the tools in this world felt so heavy. It's another of this world's peculiarities, isn't it?" Ryen neither confirmed nor denied it. Instead, he closed the portal and called out, "All right, everyone, let's get moving. The sooner we begin, the sooner we can gather more resources." With that, the group responded enthusiastically before scattering to their respective tasks. Cloud Retainer took off into the air, heading straight for the Sky Island, eager to explore its mysteries. Ryen turned to Ganyu, paused for a moment, then reached out his hand and said with a smile, "Let's go, Ganyu." Ganyu hesitated for a moment. Then, noticing that no one was paying attention to her, her cheeks turned slightly red. She cautiously extended her hand, letting it rest in Ryen's palm. Seeing this, Ryen smiled, his lips curling with amusement, and then turned around, gently pulling Ganyu along toward the floating island. He had initially planned to head back to the manor to fetch some torches and other essentials. However, considering that Cloud Retainer had already flown up to the floating island, Ryen figured it would be wise to follow her there first to ensure she didn't accidentally cause any trouble. The monster spawning tower still needed to be dealt with, and leaving it unattended might lead to chaos. With the climbing experience from yesterday, it didn't take long for Ryen and Ganyu to scale the floating island this time. Once they reached the top, Ryen took a moment to scan the surroundings. Cloud Retainer stood nearby, examining the cobblestone generator with an expression of curiosity. Not far away, the monster spawning tower was densely packed with creatures, including several creepers, their eerie green forms standing out. Ryen gestured for Ganyu to stay back, signaling her not to approach the tower just yet. Instead, he walked over to Cloud Retainer's side. "This is what you call the cobblestone generator?" Cloud Retainer's eyes sparkled with a strange excitement as she leaned closer to examine the device. If Ryen had to describe it, it seemed reminiscent of the famed craftsman's spirit. Filled with intense curiosity and awe, Ryen nodded and began to explain the cobblestone generator's principles. It wasn't particularly complex, just a clever application of water and lava mechanics within the rules of this world. As he spoke, Cloud Retainer's expression grew increasingly radiant, her enthusiasm evident. When he finished, her eyes were practically glowing with wonder. "Amazing! Truly remarkable!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with admiration. "For millennia, I have never heard of such a peculiar phenomenon. Who would have thought that water and fire could coexist in such a way without merely producing steam?" Cloud Retainer circled the cobblestone generator, her movements brisk and inquisitive. At one point, she even crouched down to peer at it from different angles, looking as if she might crawl inside to examine it more closely. This ingenious use of world principles, combining intricate materials to construct an elegant, functional design, is nothing short of extraordinary, she declared. Compared to the mundane chairs and tables crafted from mere wood and stone, this is innovation at its finest. As she spoke, Cloud Retainer's gaze remained fixed on the generator. Then, with a sudden gleam in her eyes, she turned to Ryen and asked eagerly, "May I try mining the cobblestone myself? I wish to experience this marvel firsthand." Ryen blinked, momentarily at a loss. He glanced at Cloud Retainer's crane legs and wings, his mind struggling to picture how she might even hold the necessary tools. Noticing his hesitation, Cloud Retainer chuckled softly, a knowing smile gracing her face. As a celestial adeptus, taking on a human form is but a trivial matter. However, I've long chosen to live in the mountains and remain in my natural state, close to the rivers and peaks. With that, she raised her head slightly, and a soft azure light enveloped her. In the blink of an eye, Cloud Retainer's form shifted, revealing a tall, elegant woman standing in her place. Her complexion was a warm, sun-kissed brown, exuding a scholarly yet poised demeanor. She wore a long robe with patterns somewhat resembling those on Ganyu's attire, though her outfit bore distinct teal markings on her arms and shoulders, reminiscent of Zhao's designs. A delicate tassel earring adorned one ear, and her hair was styled into a crown-like updo. Despite her classic beauty, she wore a pair of red, half-rimmed glasses, curiously without lenses, which added an intellectual flair to her overall appearance. However, Ryen found himself distracted by an odd question that arose in his mind. Was Cloud Retainer, in her human form, still considered poultry? Cloud Retainer Jinjuan. Ganyu's voice interrupted Ryen's musings. She had been quietly observing Cloud Retainer's transformation, her eyes now brimming with a mix of nostalgia and fondness. It's been so long since I last saw you take this form. Cloud Retainer turned to her and smiled warmly, a maternal tenderness softening her features. Little Ganyu, come here. Let me hold you. It's been ages since I hugged you like this. Ganyu blushed slightly but obediently approached, allowing herself to be embraced by Cloud Retainer. The Adeptus held her tightly, her eyes brimming with affectionate memories. The last time I held my dear Ganyu like this was 1,000 years ago, Cloud Retainer murmured wistfully. For a moment, the two shared a serene moment of reunion. But then, Cloud Retainer tilted her head and added with a playful tone, "You've certainly grown slimmer since then." Ganyu's expression darkened. Whatever warmth she'd felt shattered instantly. Without a word, she wriggled free from Cloud Retainer's arms and retreated behind Ryen, clearly refusing to engage any further with her adoptive mother. Cloud Retainer merely sighed and shook her head. Children, they grow up and start keeping their distance. How tiresome. Ryen chuckled, handing Cloud Retainer a pickaxe. Why don't you try out the cobblestone generator? From the way you've studied it, I imagine you've already figured out how it works. Cloud Retainer accepted the pickaxe with a prideful tilt of her chin. Naturally, while it is indeed a marvel, it is, at its core, a simple mechanism. Understanding the principles is enough to replicate it. She began mining, her movements deliberate as she tested the generator. Meanwhile, Ryen observed her with a faint smile. Having someone as sharp as Cloud Retainer take an interest in this world was a welcome development. After all, the sooner everyone adapted, the sooner he could delegate tasks and stop bearing the full weight of their infrastructure projects alone. Leaving Cloud Retainer to her exploration, Ryen turned to Ganyu. With a reassuring smile, he led her toward the monster-spawning tower. He handed her a bow and quiver filled with arrows, clearly preferring ranged combat over having her wield a stone sword. After all, the tower was teeming with unpredictable threats like creepers and witches, and he didn't want Ganyu putting herself at unnecessary risk. Besides, Ganyu's serene and pure demeanor made it difficult to imagine her engaging in close-quarters combat. Archery suited her far better. It was precise, elegant, and just as effective. With plenty of arrows stocked up from yesterday's efforts, they began clearing out the tower. Each arrow found its mark, and as the creatures fell, their spoils, resources, and treasures scattered across the ground. As the tranquil manor and floating island once again bustled with activity, everyone threw themselves into their respective tasks with renewed enthusiasm. They were all preparing for the upcoming expedition into the mines, eager to uncover the secrets and resources hidden within. Meanwhile, back in Teyvat, outside Ryen's modest yet heavily guarded house, a figure stood silently. At the base of Mount Tianhe, a tall silhouette lingered by a small pathway, gazing into the distance, their eyes fixed intently on the house.